Today, we have extremely important information that you need to know if you are selling on Amazon, if you're investing in someone building an Amazon store for you, or if you have anything to do with making money on Amazon, you need to listen to this. Today, I got three very important topics. I'm going to start with the most important one first, and I'm not only going to share with you the bad news, but also the good news and what to do about it. I'm so proud of my team because we work with a massive team now, people around the world. We're able to curate this information so quickly and show you what to do so that you can succeed, and that is our goal. For those of you guys who have asked, if you're wondering what do we do, just go to justonedime.com and you can read all about it there. All right, good to see you guys. Hello, everybody. All right, we're going to start right now. So here is the big news. You can only send in 200 units for every new listing you create. Again, if you start a new listing on Amazon, you can only send in 200 units for your first batch. Now, obviously, once you start selling, you can send in more, but the real question is, well, what does this new Amazon restriction actually mean for you? So let's say you create a new listing, an ASIN, which stands for the Amazon Standard Identification Number, which is automatically created every time a seller creates a new product listings page. And by the way, if you want to know more about Amazon codes, we did an entire video on that when it comes to ASINs and FNSKU and all that. It's on this channel right here. What this means is that all new products will be restricted. So not only are new sellers feeling these restrictions, but even experienced sellers are dealing with this. Now, while this is more relevant for those who sell original private label products, for those of you guys who are arbitrage sellers out there, please understand, and I know it's not as common, but sometimes you will create a whole new listing for a new product that you bought somewhere at a retail store that you want to resell. You also need to understand this. You can only send in 200 units to Amazon's fulfillment center unless that product already has a listing. Does this mean the end of selling FBA? Well, of course not. I'm going to show you how to adapt. I'm going to show you how to overcome these new restrictions, and I'm also going to show you how to use that to actually increase your profits. Because if you're not making a profit, we're wasting our time. So first of all, let me explain why Amazon is doing this. This is so important. If you understand their reasons, it will allow you to understand how to expect or what to expect Amazon to do in the future when weird stuff like this happens. Amazon is getting so many orders that they are struggling to keep up. This really hit with COVID. COVID-19 did not slow things down. It sped things up. You hear a lot about this whole shift of money. It's happening. There are a massive number of brick and mortar stores going into foreclosure, and that money is moving into the online business, which is why right now, like never before, there is an opportunity on Amazon. So the reason we're even dealing with this issue is because so many customers are moving to buy on Amazon, people who never did before. I mean, just to give you an example, we ordered like 7 or 8 items in the last 2 weeks, and only one of them arrived. At least 3 of them were over a week late. It's still an issue. And the demand is so high, Amazon is struggling to keep up with the orders. So if you're wondering if selling on Amazon would die because of COVID-19, it's exactly the opposite. And Q4 is approaching. Amazon has been able to get away with the delays because everyone understands that this has been, somewhat of a unique year. It's like, I like to call it the what's next year. Like, what's the next thing that's going to happen? But this gracious mindset isn't going to last through the holiday season, and Amazon knows it. People are not going to be like, oh yeah, it's cool. I'll just wait a couple more weeks for this gift that I bought for my son. And what they're doing is they're avoiding long-term damage to their brand. So that is why they're restricting the number of units that get to go in, because there's a risk. Anytime there's a new listing, there's a risk. What if the product doesn't sell? What if it malfunctions and there's a huge lashback in the public on Amazon because they're a huge company. So they have to protect their assets. So when sellers have inventory that doesn't get purchased, every 6 months, the fees go up. Then as products continue not selling, the seller has to decide to do a removal order. Now, let's be real. The 35-cent fee doesn't begin to cover the labor Amazon staff does during the removal process. So Amazon does this largely at the company's expense when they do these removal orders. They want useless inventory gone. They're even offering right now a free removal order for a limited time, if you didn't know that. In fact, if any of you guys have inventory just sitting there, I highly recommend you do one of two things. You either kill it or you sell it. You either liquidate it or you replace it with something else, because you never want inventory that is sitting still. Second reason, Amazon is optimizing. Only high-selling items will get allocated more space in accordance with the Amazon, what they call the Inventory Performance Index, also known as the IPI. The IPI calculates how well each seller manages their inventory in a range from 0 to 1,000. Any score above 500 indicates a healthy business. Anything below this, and you need to take action to get that inventory either selling or liquidated. Otherwise, you will be penalized or penalized, depending on what part of the country you're from. Now, this not only helps your business succeed, but it ensures more profit per square foot storage for Amazon. The more you understand Amazon's ecosystem, the more this all makes sense, and you will understand how to succeed on Amazon. For example, let's say you're a seasonal seller. You want to be smart because you're going to send an inventory. I highly recommend you send it in small batches regardless up front, and then the big batches as soon as it starts moving fast. Again, why? Because of your IPI. The inventory must be movement. On Amazon, in e-commerce, movement is life. But the idea of a fulfillment center is to sell. It's not to store products. So the move to instate these limits overnight without any prior announcement, thanks Amazon, it's totally your style, leads us to believe that this is actually something they've planned for months. The 200 unit limit may seem arbitrary because some sellers will outpace this. They're going to be like, hey, I have a lot more inventory to set in. But keep in mind, every decision Amazon makes is at least $1 million decision. And it is in their interest to get the number exactly right based on the data. So expect them to adjust swiftly as time goes on. I mean, the company was built by an entrepreneur. They're going to move quickly. They're going to pivot just like you have to do to make your business work. Now, of course, both Amazon and some sellers are inevitably going to miss out on sales where stock flies fast unless sellers have a finger on the pulse. So anytime Amazon sometimes does not understand their own pipeline, it would seem, as well as we understand our pipeline for our sales. Again, they have much bigger data to deal with, but the fact that Amazon flew me out to the headquarters to help them better understand how can they serve us as third-party sellers, that shows humility on their end. I feel honored, but it also shows there is a real need for them to understand what we're going through. Now, here's the big question everyone's asking. Well, is this policy going to remain after Q4 2020? We don't know. Only time will tell. I wish I had like the special red phone that I could call and say, hey, Jeff Bezos, tell me. I don't know. Perhaps it'll change after Amazon opens the planned 33 additional fulfillment centers that's happening this year. But here's what we can predict. Amazon will continue to move more and more towards embracing brands. That's why they're doing this. They're trying to protect what they put into the fulfillment center. Amazon's number one priority is customer satisfaction. That's how they built their entire system on this, their entire brand. So it is in their interest to do something about the knockoff sellers, and Amazon really hits two birds with one stone here. Think about it. Number one, raise the bar for seller entry level, especially for new sellers. This will improve the customer experience because it discourages lazy hijackers or sellers who don't do a good job. Second, it allows them to deliver products on time, customers they know, or products they know that customers love. And customers have grown to expect this from Amazon. If anything, Amazon has kind of made people more impatient about getting their products, which is kind of a funny thought because of this. So let's get practical. What can you do about this? For most sellers, the issue is not running out of stock. I mean, buyers rarely climb over each other for new products. The issue is Amazon is limiting new ASINs stock. And that's a problem because orders are cheaper per unit from manufacturers when the number of units is large. Put it in simple terms, it's much more cost effective to order 2,000 units than 200. So what do you tell your supplier? Like, I can only take 200. They're like, well, I can't do that for you. Your prices are going to be, gargantuan. They're going to be huge. A large part of supplier negotiation revolves around how much you order. In fact, suppliers may not even produce a product if the number is as low as in the hundreds. And Amazon's new policy has complicated this. So how can you both order a large quantity and do FBA when Amazon is only accepting 200 SKU? So you have a few options. I'm going to share them with you right now. Number one, have you tried FBM for the first batch of your products? This gives you complete control over what you're doing, and it gives you control over your business. And I'll show you how you can use the 200 initial unit limit to your advantage. If you fulfill the orders yourself, there is no limit to your inventory other than what you can personally handle. You can also do FBM merely as a backup to FBA. It could be another option on your offers for your listing. In that case, you would hold the majority of your inventory in a warehouse, and you would send 200 units into Amazon's fulfillment center. And if you haven't shipped more stock into the fulfillment center by the time the 200 units run out, then you switch the listing to FBM and you ship it yourself. However, I understand that lacking the Prime and the Fulfilled by Amazon text on the listing can cut into your conversion. You'll also miss out on Amazon's streamlined shipping process and their handling of returns and customer service. I get that. However, if this is what you need to do to handle this situation, do it. Like, you have nothing to lose. It's only going to make you better. When I started selling in Amazon, all I did was FBM. Now, second option, Seller Fulfilled Prime. Seller Fulfilled Prime is a less conventional method, but it involves shipping products yourself, FBM, but your listing is still tagged as Prime. Now, right now, Amazon is not accepting new registrations, so this might be more of a 2021 solution when it opens up again, but there is a wait list you can join. Now, let me explain how it works, because if you're going to act on this, now is the time, don't wait. Here's how it works. If you're able to meet the qualifications and standards for Prime, including 2-day free shipping, then you are eligible. To become seller fulfilled, you must, and I'm getting this directly from Amazon now, ship over 99% of your orders on time, check. Have an order cancellation rate of less than 0.5%, check. Use Amazon buy shipping services for at least 99% of your orders, check. Deliver orders with supported seller fulfilled Prime carriers, check. Agree to the Amazon returns policy, check. And last but not least, allow for customer service inquiries to be dealt with by Amazon. There are 5 steps you take. Number 1, you got to qualify for Seller Fulfilled Prime. You got to complete the trial period. Then you're going to store inventory in your own warehouse. And I'm going to explain to you, if you don't have a warehouse, there's other options you can use. Then you're going to process your orders, and you're going to buy shipping labels from approved carriers. There's a bunch of them. It's just like when you have the supplier send it to Amazon directly and you give them the shipping label. It's not complicated. Then you're going to pick, pack, and ship your orders the same day. Now, Seller Fulfilled Prime carriers will collect and they will deliver those orders in 2 days to your customers. The reason Amazon loves Seller Fulfilled Prime is because it is good for several things. Number 1, if you have a high value item, it's awesome. Number 2, products with seasonal or unpredictable demand, kind of like the 200 unit. Number 3, items with variations are excellent for this. Number 4, slow moving goods. Let's say you're selling refrigerators. Every time you sell one, you make $400. But they sell maybe, 10 times a week. That's a slow moving order. Or inventory that requires special handling or preparation, and it gives you control of that process. So notice that many of these products, those qualifications I just read to you, are particularly hit hard by the inventory performance index. Think about it. High value items, products with seasonal or unpredictable demand, items with variations. If you're selling, 4 different versions of this coffee mug and all the red ones sell, but the blue ones don't, well, boom, there you go. You have an inventory issue. Slow moving goods, goods that don't sell fast, but when they do, there's a big profit. And of course, inventory that requires really special handling. Those are the kind of products that can affect your IPI. And if you don't know what IPI is, ask me and I can explain it. So, Seller Fulfilled Prime will allow you to maintain the benefits of Prime. I, as a customer, can see that Prime badge, and it makes me want to buy more because it says Prime. Customers filter by Prime as well. When they search, they click a button, it says Prime only. I do it all the time because I don't want to wait a week for my product to show up. Now, again, for Amazon arbitrage sellers, it means you have the best chance possible for the Amazon buy box, so keep that in mind as well. Best of all, Prime increases customer trust and the perceived value of your product. Because what it does, it takes Amazon's brand and it puts alongside your product and it puts them together, and the customer gets the best of both worlds. But how can you possibly meet this standard when you physically fulfill products yourself? Well, 3PL, also known as third-party logistics. In fact, if you go to Google right now or YouTube, it's really funny. 3PL is one of like the top search terms right now when it comes to Amazon stuff. You never would have thought this would be the day. Well, because of the 200 unit limit, because of Amazon trying to keep up with orders, it makes sense. Now, here's how it works. You get a company, and this is what they specialize in. They store, they ship, and they fulfill your Amazon product for you. They know how to label it. You give them sub-user access to your account and it allows them to take care of the whole process. You spend little to no time putting your actual hands on the product and you focus on the big picture for your business or spend time doing the things you love with the people you love. You know what's interesting? If you do a cost comparison between the most popular 3PL companies, and I'm going to recommend one to you guys in a minute, one that I trust and absolutely love. If you compare the cost, because in both situations, if you're having Amazon fulfill the order or 3PL do it for you, you're doing that because you value your time, right? Yes, you pay for it, but you also get more conversions, which means you get more sales, which means you get it. If you were to compare the cost of 3PL compared to Amazon's fulfillment, Amazon's fulfillment, their FBA services, is almost always vastly more expensive than 3PL. Now, I get it. If you're FBM, it's not going to convert as well. That's why you apply for Seller Fulfilled Prime. Well, Seth, it's not available yet. Well, apply, wait, and see how FBM goes for you. You can even send some in for FBM and then have some for FBA and test the two and see which one does better. Now, that said, it's, again, like I said, there's no guarantee you're going to be approved for Seller Prime to get the Prime badge. Plus, cost can eat into your profits just as much if you're using Amazon's fulfillment, but far less. I'm going to give you the name of someone, you've probably seen him on this channel. He has an entire prep center. His name is Eric Abbey. He is a former Just When I'm student. He is now a Just When I'm coach as well. He does a ton on Amazon. He bought a whole new house for his family based on the training and the sales that he got selling in Amazon. If you look him up, ask him. He'll tell you, like, an amazing guy. This is another example of someone who's just taken the training, he's applied it, and he's making a ton of money. So I'm going to give you his email. It is Eric, E-R-I-C, at A-P, just A-P, prep, P-R-E-P, services.com. I'm going to say it again. Eric, E-R-I-C, at A-P, prep, another P, R-E-P, services.com. One more time. His name is Eric, E-R-I-C, at A-P-P-R-E-P, services.com. You got it. Email him, tell him Seth sent you. I'm not an affiliate, just so you know, but I trust him. He has an amazing warehouse in Vermont, and he is crushing it with his 3PL service. Okay, here is another option. And the last option I'm going to share with you, or this one, is my favorite because it works. And I'm really shocked at how few Amazon sellers even think that they can, or think that they can't do this. They don't even try. Let me explain. You can get a lower MOQ, minimum order quantity. And I'm referring to the size of the order that you, the seller, purchase from your manufacturer or supplier. You can get it lower so that you qualify for the 200 or less for your first shipment and then have the rest shipped. Let me explain. The closer you get to an MOQ of 200, the less you'll have to store outside of Amazon's fulfillment center with 3PL. But what you can do is have the supplier you pay for $3,000, but you have them send the first 200 and hold the remaining. And just tell them, look, give me 2 weeks. These are going to sell like hotcakes. Just give me 2 weeks. If there's a fee for it, fine. But I want to just have you send the first shipment of 200 for me. And if they work directly with the freight forwarder, it is not hard. So you can still get a low cost per unit by buying a larger batch, but just have them send in the first 200. This also gives you a chance to optimize the listing on a small number of products and get it ranking strong before you ship in the larger batch. In fact, if you've started reaching out to suppliers, you're probably used to seeing MOQs for products in the 5,000 range. So a lot of people say, well, Seth, what if I even want to get it under 1,000 or under 100? How do I do that? Well, something you need to know. If you're selling a higher dollar product, your chance of getting a lower MOQ is greatly increased. In fact, as a general rule, the more expensive the product sells for, the lower your MOQ. So sure, yeah, a $5 priced retail product probably has an MOQ of 5,000 or more, but you're really going to struggle to make money on that selling on Amazon, not to mention the fact that you're definitely not going to get the MOQ that you want. What about a product priced at $150 to the consumer? Even better. It's still low enough to be within the range of impulse buying, and yet there's a much bigger dollar profit because your fixed costs don't go up. Your shipping fees, your FBA fees are not affected by the price of the product. They're only affected by the size and the weight. So if you have two products, one is selling for more, one is selling for less, but they are the same size and weight, the higher priced product is going to make you a lot more money because the shipping and FBA fees do not go up based on the size and the weight. Here's another thing you can do with your supplier. Promise future value to your supplier. Say something like this. Say, look, I'm doing a test run on the product. You want to get some out there. I want to receive feedback and optimize it. I want to test with a small order before ordering thousands more. They respect that. They need to know that you are a real businessman or businesswoman. You want to know the fastest way or one of the fastest ways to destroy trust with the supplier? Negotiate on the price of the sample. Dumbest decision ever. I don't blame you for it. I did the same thing when I started out. And if you're doing that, you need to stop. It's dumb. I'll tell you why. Why would you negotiate over a $100 item? You want to be a millionaire. Why are we worrying about 100? That is the wrong thing to negotiate on. Put your energy into the big ticket item. Like, hey, I want to get 5,000 of these. Will you give me a 45 cents per unit discount? Now that's smart negotiating. See what I mean? So tell them you're doing a test run and you will build a lot of trust. A lot of them will work with you. They get it. With the tariffs, with the tension between the US and China, a lot of people are afraid. You know what I'm finding? A lot of Chinese suppliers actually work with me more because they're afraid. They want that business. They're worried about it going away. So leverage that. Be smart. Sounds evil, but take advantage of that and say, look, you want this business to work. I do too. We both have our concerns. Let's make this work together. That's smart thinking. Set the expectation with the supplier that you want a long-term business relationship. In order to be successful, tell them, look, I have to start with an MOQ at the beginning. And by working with you, a manufacturer is setting themselves up to be the exclusive supplier of a successful brand. Now, undoubtedly, some suppliers have already heard of Amazon's policy change, and they emphasize with you. And now, 200, I know it's still low for an MOQ, but let's just say you get it down to 500. Guys, that helps you a ton. What if you had the other 300 shipped to you, and then you ship in the next 300 after the 200 start selling? It's like some people, they freak out about the 200. Look, it's just the beginning. It's just one obstacle to get over. And then after that, it's like the freeway and I can fly. So don't wait until the 200 is almost gone, by the way, when you ship them in. Optimize your listing as you go. That is how you can solve this new Amazon restriction issue. Okay, I'm going to be taking your questions when I'm done sharing all this information with you. I have two more topics I want to cover. These are very short, but they're also very important. Number one, Amazon is making USA seller names, addresses public. So the names and addresses on your Amazon store, the world can see them. And if you ever get an angry customer, you probably don't want them showing up and knocking on your door and saying, hey, I didn't like that product. That's going to be a little creepy. I mean, a lot of people could find out where you live. Oh, wait a minute. I'm assuming that your business address is your home address. Guys, this is the easiest solution ever. By the way, there's already been law in the EU for some time now, as some of my coaches will tell you, who we found like no stories of customers actually showing up. But still, you don't want that to be exposed in front of the world. So first of all, let me explain why Amazon did this, and then I'm going to tell you what you can do. First of all, why did Amazon do this? Doesn't this mean like a major breach of trust that they're sharing our name and address like there publicly on this massively ranking website? Well, they're doing it. You ready for this? To fix the issue that was our most common complaint just 6 months ago. What? Yeah. Do you guys remember the biggest complaint? It's funny, I hardly ever hear about it anymore. Just reverse time 6-9 months ago. What did everyone, can anyone tell me below? I would love to know. What was everyone complaining about with Amazon? Just like half a year ago, 3/4 of a year ago. Do you remember? Counterfeiting and hijacking. And the majority were Chinese Amazon sellers. And if you guys saw the recent data, because this data is public, if you take all the top sellers, over 50% of them are in China. Go figure that out. I can tell you more about that. By the way, I have to share this. Our team in China right now is taking Chinese courses, okay? These are like bilingual Chinese people. They're taking all the most popular courses. They are buying them. It's totally legal. They are downloading them, translating them, sending it to us so we understand how they do business so well over there. And anything we learn that's legit, that's legal, we will apply to our own stores, and then we will add it to the FBA Mastery membership. Let me say it again. We have staff in China who are taking the top Amazon FBA courses, and they're translating into English and giving us in America that information So we can train our European and American and South American and European, even Asian clients on the best possible material in the world. But we won't teach you anything unless we've tested it first ourselves. I thought you'd like to know that. But here's what I want to explain why they're adding these addresses publicly. It gives other sellers and buyers some information to track them down. Does it help? Well, that's a hard maybe. I mean, it's more of a deterrent than anything. I mean, your chances of doing that are much less likely if you know that your information is public. Now, what's actually going to happen is that people are much more likely to find a place of business than a home. That in and of itself is actually a good thing. I mean, you already know where each brick and mortar store is, right? So is it that big of a deal? Yeah, but what if that business location is not a brick and mortar store, but it's a virtual address with Amazon? Now, let me explain. This is what you could do. When you become an Amazon seller, they require you to send a proof of address. The information you give must match the wording perfectly. Even a period or comma can throw the whole thing off, and then boom, your account is in limbo and it's suspended until you prove otherwise. They have a system that does this, by the way, like robots. So the proof of address, like a utility bill, can be addressed to your P.O. box. So all you do is you open your business, you open an address or an account with UPS or USPS, and then when you get your utility bill, you make that your mailing. Even if it's your home utility bill, doesn't matter because you probably don't have a brick and mortar store with a utility bill yet, right? So you take your home utility bill, you call them up and say, hey, my mailing address is this now. Then you can just send it in. You can even call it your business and they'll change it for you. And now you have a utility bill. It really is that simple. Do not be afraid if you get a virtual address. It will make it so much easier. People have like much more bark online than bite in real life. So even if you didn't, I'm not worried about it, but I still think it's a smart thing to do. One of our students learned from a 1-star review on his new listing, a 1-star review. And it would have been a devastating hit early in his product's history. But instead of getting angry about it, he recognized the flaw, he fixed it, he refunded the buyer, he sent him the new version, and the buyer went back and changed his review from 1 star to 4. They reconciled, and check this out, they even met up for a drink in real life. Talk about amazingness. That is what you can do. You can actually learn from the feedback that you get, which is awesome. Okay, last thing I want to share with you, then I'm going to take your questions. USA Supreme Court rules that generic website names can be trademarked. Now, this is amazing. If you've been into like trying to get trademarks or have trademarks, you understand what a massive deal this is. For years, like since the beginning of the internet, you could not ever trademark a URL. The highest court in America ruled in the case Patent and Trademark Office versus Booking.com that Booking.com can trademark their name even though it is generic. Now, let me tell you why this is a big deal. The more descriptive and generic a brand name is, the more likely it is to be refused at the Patent and Trademark Office. So, for example, the spectrum, let me explain the spectrum for brand names like this. Generic, here's one kind of brand name, generic. Generic would be like bookstore. That is not trademarkable. That's a common name. Descriptive would be like kitchen aid. It aids in your kitchen. Get it? It's descriptive. Suggestive would be like Ray-Ban sunglasses. It suggests that it's going to ban those rays coming down because you got those sunglasses on. Get it? And then fanciful means like super random. Arbitrary, like Kodak cameras. Kodak has nothing to do with cameras. Now we associate it that way because they built their brand well. Other companies need to be able to use terms like bookstore to describe their business. And trademarks are exclusive. So if someone trademarked bookstore, no one else could call themselves that. However, no other store in the book trade needs to describe themselves as Barnes & Noble other than that particular company. Therefore, it is trademarkable. It is more random. So Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kodak, all those companies have what their brand name has nothing to do with the products that they produce. Like computers don't run on apples, nor do they make Macintosh apples. Did I just say that? So if a term is suggestive of the brand experience, but doesn't necessarily draw a type of product to mind, the term can be both trademarkable and a valuable part of a brand experience. Let me give you an example. Yeti. It is a tumbler. It is an outdoor equipment company. So the image of a Yeti makes sense because it implies the wild. So this Supreme Court decision leaves the door open to more descriptive and generic names. I'm telling you, the tides are changing. All it takes is one court case, and all of a sudden, all the new lawyers who go to court are going to reference that court case to prove, hey, we can move this way. We can trademark more generic names. So here's the question. What happens next? Well, a ton of weight for this decision was placed on the size and reputation of Booking.com, which is fair. I mean, think about it. If you were to start a new delivery company driving around brown vans and brown cars, you would probably get sued by, you guessed it, UPS, because they're so big and brown is so obviously their color, it would be a conflict of interest. In the opinion, the justices imply that in order for a company to get the same sort of treatment as Booking.com did, they will have to have brand recognition before they are allotted or approved a trademark when the name is generic. Now, not many companies will be able to replicate this model, obviously. Build before trademark? That's not practical, especially for Amazon sellers. So as an Amazon seller, trademarking is required to get brand registered, as you know, which comes with a host of advantages, not to mention A+ content and all these templates you can pick from and videos you can add. So you want to trademark as early as possible in the process. And either you need to find the time and patience to do it yourself, or you need to hire a trademarking company or pay a lawyer to do it for you, or Google this, Amazon IP Accelerator, the ACC version of Accelerator, not the other one. Just Google it, Amazon IP Accelerator. We're working with one right now. They can get you brand registered within 2 weeks. And then comes the question, well, Seth, should I trademark my own website name? Well, if you already own a website domain, then no one else can feasibly trademark it, especially if you're selling stuff. Like, there's no need to protect it via a trademark. Trademarks are to really reinforce brand value and protect you in case someone wants to use it. But if you've already been using it to sell products and someone else comes along to trademark, they won't be able to if you fight it. So if you already trademarked your brand name, there's no need to trademark your website domain in addition to the brand name, unless you're huge like Apple. But think about that. Why would Apple go and trademark apple.com? Like, there's no need. Now, if you want to buy up domains like ketchup.com or try to build brands off of being able to own a great website domain, I just want to wish you good luck. It's probably not a good idea. But before you do, take a long look at Booking.com's slog of a story. I'm willing to bet they would have preferred to go with something more fanciful if they knew it would take a Supreme Court case to get trademarked. Can you imagine all the money and all the time lost because of that one decision? Amazon and the world of e-commerce constantly changes. If there is any one constant for any entrepreneur in the world, even if you're not selling on Amazon, you are just an entrepreneur and you want to change your life. You want freedom. You are done with the old way. You want a new life. My friend, I will tell you this as guaranteed as the sky is blue in Austin, Texas, most of the year. Change will constantly happen, and you must be ready for it. And that is why I'm here today, is to help you understand the change. Now, I'm going to answer any questions you guys have. Give me 1 second. Let me switch over to all the questions. And there are about 500 questions. I love you guys. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me zoom in because this screen is just a few feet from my face. And I need to be, oh yeah, Command plus. Okay. What's up, Velma? So glad to have you here. Give us good news. Rad, I hope you found it good. Just sitting here waiting. No longer Mr. Curmudgeon Hurajol. The IPI score restriction for new buyers. Yes. So the IPI is simply your inventory. It's your index. And the idea is you cannot have inventory sitting. You want it to keep moving. In fact, we even teach in our membership, you should start with small batches anyways. For some reason, a lot of new Amazon sellers think they have to start with 5,000 units. I don't know where that's coming from. Why? Why would you want to take the risk? Why not start with the higher selling item, lower quantity? You will not only make more money, but your risk goes down big time. All right, need to diversify your options, start a Shopify store, build out an Etsy business, sell on Walmart. If you need any help with this, I can help. Just message me. Derek Fitzgerald is like, hey guys, I got business for you. No problem. Waiting patiently for updates. Lydia, hopefully got butterflies in my stomach. That's awesome. Never lose those, Miss Timia. I'm new to Amazon, working on getting ungated in toys. First order of toys is coming next week. That's awesome. By the way, let me just share something with you, Miss Batia. Never lose the butterflies in your stomach. You should never lose that because that means you're kind of nervous, and that's good. And you're excited, and that's good. I enjoy being an entrepreneur more today than when I started. But when I started, it was amazing. I just had a lot of changing and growing to do, and I still do. But there's one thing I want to share with you. If Amazon does not approve your ungating in toys, it's really hard to do because can you guys believe it? The fourth quarter, it's almost here. Like, it's happening right now. It's insane how much more money you make in the fourth quarter. It's not even funny. That's why so many people joined us as investors for us to build the Amazon brand for them because they want to hit the fourth quarter. If you guys are like, Seth, what are you talking about? Let me give you a really simple website, justonedime.com/DFY. If you want us to build your Amazon store for you, justonedime.com/DFY. If you have capital and long-term thinking, justonedime.com/DFY. Back to Miss MTIA. If you don't get approved or ungated for toys, do not get discouraged. Don't lose the butterflies. It means you need to sell more generic product category like home goods, kitchen, sporting, science and industrial. Like seriously, sell something else. And then once you have some good index, some trust index on your account, then Amazon's more likely to ungate you. But either way, I wish you good luck. What's up, Paul? Good to see you. Yes, I understand, Angelica. I've been there many times. Greetings from freaking cold, wet, gloomy London. Umit, I should not show you how beautiful it is outside. All right, what is up, everybody? Okay, Sellers Central states this is not open right now. Correct, living the dream, as I said. I'm assuming you're referring to Seller Fulfilled Prime. You have to wait, but you can be put on a waiting list. What's up, Vincent the Noob? I once was, and I think we all need to remain a teachable mindset to succeed. Yes, there is a waiting list. Just joined Ruben from Boston. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Adam C said something, and just when I'm deleted it. Adam, did you say something inappropriate, my man? Adam was hidden. I'm curious now. What did he say? Did he say something special? Adam, do you need a hug? All right, what is IPI? It is Inventory Performance Index. It's basically how Amazon grades your inventory, Shiraz, and how quickly it's moving. If your inventory stays still too long, then your index starts to go down. When it goes below 500, Amazon will begin to penalize you for it. But here's the thing, guys. If you're setting up your business right, as our students do, if you're really being smart about it, you're going to sell products that are going to fly out the window. Your biggest problem should be running out of inventory because it's moving so quickly. Amazon's like, you know what? We have a lot of sellers who, no offense, they don't know what they're doing. Their inventory is not moving. So we're going to say IPI. Now we're applying this new restriction. Do you know of any 3PL companies in the UK? Not any that I could recommend to you, Lydia. I'm sorry. But make sure you email me. I'll get you in the WhatsApp group for Just When I'm Europe, and I'm sure they could help you. What's up, Creative Life? Good to see you. Yeah, Boxing MMA is also asking about 3PL in the UK. Steve Bailey, that's genius. I was just going to send them the extra to me for 2 weeks. And then, yeah, awesome, Steve. I see what you're saying. Guys, listen to what Steve is saying. What he's saying is, why not have them send the first batch in, then you send in the rest? Like, why not? Then you still get the low per cost unit. Okay, Sajan has a question. Sajan E. Patel is in the house. What is up, my brother? Good to see you. With the 200 unit storage limit, once you sell the product in 2 weeks, let's say 100 units sold, does your storage limit go up after 500 to 1,000 units? Great question. Amazon doesn't tell us, but based on our experience, they open it up. After you start selling, you just send in the next batch. It doesn't take that long. They don't give us a specific number. We haven't tested enough to know an exact number like the cutoff point, but in every situation for all my stores and all my investor stores and all of our student stores, once you start that first 200 selling, the next time they send in the batch, whether it was within a week or 2 weeks, it was just fine, assuming the first batch started selling quickly. If it's not selling quickly, we have a different problem. Is it more economical, says Leap Ward, to ship the inventory over 200 to my house and then ship to Amazon and on an as-needed basis? Great question. So it depends. It is your job to find out those numbers based on your location. There's no way I can answer your question unless I know whether you live, in Russia and South America, on the moon, US. I don't know where you live, so it depends. But I can tell you as a general rule, by the way, it's a good question, but you have to run the numbers, okay? You're the entrepreneur, it's your business. But I will tell you this, as a general rule of thumb, the best, most economical way is to negotiate with your supplier. Use your negotiation communication skills to persuade the supplier to only send in 200 on the first batch, even if you have to pay a fee, and to hold the rest until they send in the rest. That will save you the most money. My item, says B. Spiegel, keeps running out of stock. Can I give you 5? You know how awesome that is? You know how many Amazon sellers out there who haven't had proper training, they're like, it's not selling. B. Spiegel, thank God, man, that's awesome. But let me read the rest of the question. Maybe I shouldn't be thanking God yet. Then when I put in more stock, it takes time to build back up. What should I do? Gotcha. So what you need to do first is as soon as you run out of stock, close the listing. Your BSR will go up on paper, but as soon as you send a new inventory, it will go back down almost to exactly where it was. That's the first thing you need to do, okay? Second, you need to plan your inventory. You need to understand lead time. How long does it take after the order is put in, you paid your first 30%? How long does it take for the supplier to build it and get it shipped? Therefore, order enough units to cover enough time based on how many times it's going to sell a day so that by the time you run out, your next batch is already going in. See what I mean? That's inventory planning. We have a whole section on this in FBA Mastery, by the way. What is up, Triffle and Jay? How are you? I'm going to ship my extra 1,300 units to my house. Hopefully your wife will still love you and your kids and your dog. I did this once. It was like, oh my goodness. It's insane. Then drip feed Amazon, but it stinks because to ship a pallet from a house, the cheapest I could find was 300. Yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, 300, is it really that bad, man? I mean, come on. I guess my question is, are you profitable? If you're really profitable, 300 is a drop in the bucket. And this is only for your first batch. After that, you're free. Exactly. You guys nailed it. It was hijackers. I know I'm reading comments from a year ago, but thank you. You're exactly right. All right. Brian's message was retracted. Brian, what did you say? Now I'm curious, man. I really want to know. Okay, let me scroll back. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Maxim is in the house. How are you, my friend? Maxim says this. Recently, I registered to Seller Central. But had a problem with the supplier. So I haven't sent anything to FBA. Is there a way to get $40 cash back from Amazon? Maxime, yes, just ask them for it. They should send it to you. I've never seen them not send it back. However, if I was in your shoes right now, what I would focus on is who is your supplier? Because you should be able to make that $40 back like that once your business starts growing. Oh, what's up, Marta? Good to see you. Is this going to be added to our mastery courses so we can learn from this? I missed the first part of this. This particular video, because it is so time sensitive, it's not going to go in the membership because 2 months from now, Amazon could change the IPI index. They could change the 200 limit. See what I mean? We only put the longevity stuff in the membership. So this video will be posted on the Just One Dime YouTube channel. You can come back and watch the whole thing however you want, Marta. By the way, guys, do I talk too fast? Someone on my staff, last time I did a video, he said, Seth, you talk so fast, I couldn't understand. If I'm doing that, tell me, I will slow down. Sometimes people say I talk like I'm from New York. I'm not from New York. I'm from Texas and California, but I don't know why I talk too fast. What's up, Steve? Hey, boss, did Amazon do away with HTML and product description? I tried 4 different softwares. I tried putting in myself like Dan Rogers showed us. It either looks the same or unreadable. I don't know. Steve, you stumped me. Too bad I didn't say I'm giving out an iPad if you stumped me. Brother, ask that in the membership. Post that. I would love to know because I don't know. That's a great question, and you stumped me square and fair, my friend. B. Spiegel says, it is a problem to have the same manufacturers as my competitor. In most situations, it is. In fact, Spiegel, I would get them on video chat on WeChat and say, are you selling on Amazon? I want to know. Because they can undercut you so easily, you know? Hello, Seth. Greetings from Finland. That's awesome. Good to see you, Jackie. What's up, Collins? Jackie says, how strict are they with the business name? For example, is it possible that they first accept your business name but ban it afterwards for unknown reason? I've never seen it happen, Jackie, ever in my life. So I don't know why they would unless it's like something bad. Anthony Benitez, what did you say, my friend? It says message retracted. You guys are messing with me. Velma is in the house. I have so much problem in placing my first product on Amazon. I need help. Velma, send me an email, seth@justonedime.com, and let me know how I can help you. By his stripes. I love that. That handle. That is awesome. Is that 200 units for every product or 200 different listings? It's 200 units per listing. Definitely not 200 different listings. Thank you, God. That would be bad. Vincent X says, with 3PL, third-party logistics, and creating a virtual store address, it would cut into overhead. Yes, it does. When does it become untenable? Well, here's the thing, Vincent. Again, it's only the first 200 units. See what I mean? I would contend this, that if you have the profit margin set up correctly on your brands, on your store, on your products, if you know them and you're accurate on them, this should feel like a ow. Let's keep growing. That's what it should feel like literally that tiny. Mano is in the house again. What is it, my brother? Good to see you. I see the coffee mug. Yes, you do. Let me take a sip of this, and I promise I'll answer the rest of these questions. But here's also my promise. As soon as I catch up, I'm out of here. So if you have questions, ask them now. I'm going straight through every single one. Hey, Seth, thanks for doing this. No problem, Ruben. You got it, my friend. I'm happy to do it. I enjoy being here and just sharing with you what is freaking hot off the press. Okay, Janet says, can you do FBM and FBA at the same time by creating two listings? You can. You can create two listings. What will happen is Amazon will likely merge them into one, and now you'll have two offers on the same listing, an FBA offer and an FBM. And you can turn on and off FBA and FBM as you like. You can click the button. It's pretty cool. What's up, Dennis? Denise? Sorry. Is it Denise or Dennis? Love you all. I love you too. How do I confirm my supplier really paid duty when they ship my order DDP? Great question. Did they send you the commercial invoice? That commercial invoice is really important because it has all the data you need so that if later you get a call from customs, you can say, here's all the data that you needed. See what I mean? That should also include the data you need for getting through customs out of China. It's not going to include it before you get to the US. So you really literally have no way of knowing because it has to come through US customs. Now, something you need to understand, guys, there are times, and they are legit. Excuse me. There are legit moments where the supplier and the freight forwarder do everything they can, and you still get hit with a $200, $260 customs fee. That happens because customs can say, we're going to inspect this. We're going to charge you because we had to inspect it. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on. I'm not saying shady necessarily. I think not. But you don't have control over that is what I'm trying to say. And so there are times where you'll get hit. I remember the first time I got hit with like a $260 bill, customs fee. I'm like, what are you talking about? It was DHL. And they said, no, you have to pay it. I said, didn't you guys pay it? I paid everything. They said, yeah, I know, but they are charging us this. So you have to pay it because you own the goods. So just going to be blunt. It is a part of running a business. It happens sometimes, not often. All right. Papoy USA says this. I usually order 1,000. So with the new SKU, you can only send in 200 pieces at a time, or 200 first and second order can be bigger the second. Send in 200 the first time, then send in your remaining 1,800 the second time. All right, people boxing MMA. I know you want that 3PL company. What happens, says Brian, if the account gets banned? Will we get a refund? I don't know. That's a great question. You mean a refund on the monthly fees? I don't know. Anthony says, can you register your brand on Amazon without having a website? You can, but here's what happens. In most situations, they want some kind, well, in all situations, they want proof that you are one of two things. You either intend to sell or are selling your product. Those are the two classifications on a trademark application, in use or intent to use. If you do the in use, that means you'll get the trademark much faster. You'll get your brand registered much faster. Well, if you have in use, you need a website to show you're selling the product. Or maybe you go to trade shows, or maybe you sell from a brick and mortar store. See what I mean? It's so easy. You go to Shopify, you pay the tiny monthly fee, you pick a template, you throw on a product, you throw on a brand name, done. You can do it in 15 minutes. Anthony Benitez, what's up, my friend? Hey, Seth, great content as always. Absolutely. Thank you, man. Question, can I see customers' addresses only if you do FBM? I used to see them before. Yeah, Amazon hides that as well. Amazon's become more and more nervous in light of Echo and other things and creepy situations that have happened when people try to hack through Echoes. I don't know if you guys saw that documentary about Amazon on YouTube. Pretty crazy stuff, but you can no longer see that. However, if you're building your brand correctly, you can also get their email address legitimately by giving them a lead and offer in the packaging to get them to go to a website where they have to put in the name and email to get something of great value from you relevant to your product. And now you can use that to provide them content and market to them in a tasteful way. Chewy Champion says, hello. Hey, Chewy. One product, 3 color variations. Would that mean 600 units that can be sent to Amazon FBA? You are 100% correct, my man. You nailed it. Greetings from hot, humid Palestine, Texas. Yeah, it's so humid out here, you wouldn't believe it. And all those people in London are going, I wish it was hot and humid. Alice says, is it a bad idea to start with the high competition product in Q4? New seller here. Alice, it depends, Alice, on a couple things. Great question. It is a great idea to start with a high demand product in high competition if you are differentiated with absolute excellence. Look, I don't care how many sellers are out there. If your product is fixing something better, and obviously just by looking at the picture, I can tell it's better than anyone else, then boom, absolutely. And if you need our help, go to justonedime.com/freedom. Like we can show you exactly step by step how to build that correctly. That's a big question. But the key answer is competition is irrelevant if you are differentiated so well that the competition now becomes irrelevant. See? Greg K is in the house. He says, I have a stock delayed for my first launch. Oh my goodness, the train ran off the rails? You got to be kidding me. You're not speaking metaphorically, are you, my friend? Struggling to sell anything at all despite of having a lot of views and competitive price. Well, I can tell you what's going on. If you have a competitive price and great views, 99% of the time, that means your first photo absolutely sucks. I love you, brother. I'm going to be blunt. It probably sucks. So you need a photo that if people are buying your, if people are buying your competitors' products and you've done everything right, you have a good price, you have a great value, you're offering something uniquely better than they are, you've differentiated, I can almost guarantee you your main photo absolutely sucks and you got to change it. I'm just going to be blunt. Don't take it offensively. I'm here to help. What does Just One Dime Done For You cost? It's an investment. So you're going to need at least $30,000 up front just in fees alone. It's for people who have capital and they want us to build it for them. The last video on YouTube talks all about this. If you go to the YouTube channel, go back to it, you'll see it. We call it Amazon automation. This is, by the way, it's not drop ship. It is not drop. All those Amazon automations out there, those are drop ship. Tiny, thin margins. Not talking about that, you guys. All right, we're talking about building your brand. Chris Kim says, hello, Seth. What's up, my friend? I started Amazon business because of your video. Thank you so much, Chris. That makes my day. When I get emails that people, their life was changed because of what we shared with them, like that totally makes my day, you guys. And I just want to say this right now. I don't care what the world throws at you, what issues you're running into, whatever happens outside, you have what it takes to make a business and to fulfill your dreams. And as soon as you give yourself permission to believe that, all of a sudden you start living like it, acting like it, talking like it, sharing it with your spouse, your kids, your friend, your boyfriend. And all of a sudden you start seeing a different perspective and you're happier and you're more fulfilled. And all of a sudden you're fighting no longer about petty things and you're actually thankful. And you run into a problem and you're like, well, thank you, God. I'm learning, I'm growing. And as a result, everything gets better. So I just want to tell you that right now, like, do not give up, you guys. Okay. So let's continue on. Patrick is awesome. Can't wait to start my Done For You DIY products. Thank you, Seth, for doing what you do. Absolutely, brother. Ink Wrap. I don't know who you are because I don't know who Ink Wrap stands for. I'm just going to call you Mr. Ink. Patrick is one of the most successful, resilient, tough Amazon sellers I've ever met in my life. Not only am I proud to say we trained him as a team, I'm also proud to say he surpassed many of us in his Amazon sales, which is awesome. And that is why he's one of the Amazon brand builders for Just One Dime. So absolutely 100%. And that is awesome. Thank you so much, Lynette. Okay. Madame Butterfly, that's a beautiful name, says this: I have a poor API score now as the sales went down with COVID. Should I remove my inventory as sales are slowly increasing with Christmas coming, stock as needed? I may not be able to send more in. Here's what I would do. I would first ask, how can I get the inventory moving? By taking it out. If you take it out, that's going to cost you time and money. So I would ask, is there a way you can speed it up? In other words, go look at all your top competitors. Find out if you're selling 10 times a day and they're selling 50 times a day, there's a reason. And there's no reason you can't do better than they are. So find out why they're selling better. Could it be the product? Could it be they have more reviews? Could it be they have a better listing? But you see what I mean? There's all these different things you have to look at. But usually it goes down to the price and the photo and the title. Those are like the main things. And if you've optimized the best that you can, like really well, and you've tested it, and you've used places like pickfood.com to split test it, and you're still not selling fast, then you picked the wrong product. What's up, Shivani? I need some help creating A+ content. Please suggest some pointer who can help. Shivani, I highly recommend you get all the help from A to Z. justonedime.com/freedom will teach you everything you're in for life. Best of M. What does M stand for? Now I want to know. Money? What if I have 500 units coming to Amazon warehouse, but only half received, the rest was lost? Do I have the right to get the remaining number to Amazon without being affected by the new restriction? Great question. If Amazon lost them, you have the right. If Amazon did not lose them, you don't. If you have 4 variations, will it be 200 of each variation? That is correct, Velma. I'm in Florida. What's up, Shiraz from Florida? Is it true if I make under $20,000 in a year, then legally I do not have to report to IRS without getting into trouble, or do I have to? I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax attorney. However, my tax attorney, my CPA, my accounting team is the same team that does Robert Kiyosaki's taxes. So take my advice seriously, but don't take it legally. Can I say that? You don't have to. Let me put it this way, okay? And I'll let you read between the lines. If you make under $20,000 a year in revenue, not profit, when Amazon sends you that report, they won't report it. They don't have to report it to the IRS. The IRS don't know. That's all I'll say. Do you like my Louisiana accent? How about if I live in California, can I still get a virtual address? Yeah, Andre, you can do it anywhere you want. Just go to UPS and say, hey, like, what's up? My name's Andre. What's up, Andre? I'd like to get a UPS box. Are you serious? Yes, I would. Can you give me a physical version and a PO box of it? Absolutely, we can. Okay, cool. Here we go. Here's the cost. Boom. Thank you so much. Then you go back home. You call your utility company, say, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? I'd like to change my mailing address. What do you want to change it to? The PO box for my business. Okay, no problem. When you open your LLC, same thing. Or even if it's just a sole proprietorship, you are the business. Still make that your address. Then if some angry customer shows up, they're going to be angry at the USPS guys, not you. They're going to show like, where's my product? Why'd you sell me this product? Those guys are going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? We're a shipping company. He's going to like, oh, shoot. What would Seth do? Just saying. Patrick's trying to make that thing trend, I tell you. Larry McInnes is in the house. Larry, I would love to talk to you, my friend. We haven't talked for a long time. How are you, brother? And he retracted his message. I swear, you guys are messing with me. Hey, Seth, I've been approved for FBA. Woohoo! And I'm new to selling in Amazon. My restock or new inventory is 0, and I can't send in any of the products. Any advice? How can I resolve the 200 limit as well? So when you say my restock or new inventory is 0, I don't understand what you mean you can't send in any of your product. If it's 0, then send it in. What am I missing, my friend? Slow down a bit. I will. Thank you for telling me. That's hard to do, man. Hey, Denise, built for you. Does it meet the guidelines for self-directed IRAs? I love this question. This is awesome. I don't know. A self-directed IRA has to, I'll tell you what I do know. An IRA is a different version. It's like guys, tax advantages because you pay your tax before versus a 401k, right? I can tell you this, I completely took all my money out of my 401k and I just paid the fee. I didn't care. And that money I invested is making me so much more money than a 401k ever would have done for me. I would recommend every entrepreneur really reconsider if they would ever do a retirement account, because there are other things you can invest in that will make you so much more money fast. But I do not have enough knowledge to tell you about the self-directed IRA. So I'm sorry, Denise. Talk fast and get more info in. You got it. I'll do that. No problem. You got it. You talk quite fast, but I appreciate it. Aha. Okay. What's wrong with talking to? I'm sorry, MMA fan from London. They want me to talk fast. Okay. Larry McInnes. Good to see you, brother. Seth, my product is established at AZ and a fast seller. I ran out of inventory, so of course I'm not selling product quickly. But now I can still only send in 200 units. So Larry, if it is a new listing, that's true. But if it's an established listing, that's not true. And if you're experiencing something otherwise, tell me. You should be able to send in more, absolutely. What's up, Katie? What's the best Amazon feedback tool? There's a new one on the block I hear about. I'm about to share it with you guys very soon, but I'm not ready to share it yet. So in the meantime, feedback 5. Andrew is in the house, and he says you speak fast. But is it too fast? Leap Ward, let me get this clear, Seth. Are you saying that the 200 inventory for new sellers is only for our first order, and then we can send greater quantities? Yes, I am. Great question. What's up, Jasmine? What happens with the returns with Amazon? Do they send it back to me? It's up to you, Jasmine. You go into your settings, and you let them know whether or not you want them to send it to you, or destroy it, or give it as gifts to the staff. No, I'm just kidding. It's up to you completely. I never have it sent. Do you know when I started, Jasmine, I always had them send it back to me, and I don't do it anymore. Why? Because I value my time over my money. And if you do that, you'll end up making more money. What's up, David? Yes, you do speak too fast for all of us who are not English native speakers. Yet you wrote that in perfect English, David. I appreciate it, though. My shipping tracking status is not changing. What should I do for Amazon FBA? You need to call Amazon. What happens if the wrong shipment tracking number is added by mistake to the shipping plan? Does the receiving at FC take longer? Yes, very likely 100%. It depends. I've seen it happen both ways. Looking forward to a call for done for you option tomorrow. That is awesome. Stu, what's up, Manny? Seth, I have products that I'm currently competing with Amazon. That's awesome. If I send the product to FBA, is it possible to share the buy box if we have the same price? Only if it's exactly the same product. Kylie says, can you find a UK manufacturer who will create your packaging and then send everything there and they pack it? Yes, I should have included that in my tips. And absolutely, we've done this multiple times in the US. You can do this. Oftentimes, you can get very competitive retail packaging prices in Europe or America because the quantity, the MOQ, is so high in China for retail packaging. C, I see you. Is there any way to figure out how many products sold on Amazon? Yes. Use a Mazow, Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Viral Launch. There's lots of them out there. EP is in the house. He says, Seth, how do we know we're not getting ripped off on DDP shipping quotes from suppliers? You don't. But if you get a few quotes, go to Freightos, F-R-E-I-G-H-T-O-S, drop in all the information. They'll give you a bunch of quotes. Compare that to those. Here's a general rule of thumb, EP. If it's crazy high or crazy low from the average, you're being scammed. Most of the time, though, that's not the case. What happens if the account gets suspended? You send them the documentation they request to get it unsuspended. When, says Zoya, is the 200 units taking place? Is it only for December? We don't know. Andrew says, how long does it take to get over order defect rates, and how does it affect your rank? So it doesn't affect your rank as far as we know. It affects the health of your account. So first of all, you need to ask, why are these orders defecting? Why are they returning the product? What's happening here? Once you figure that out, then you're able to go back and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do to fix it. It's based on a percentage. So you need to give it 30 days. You need really, really good orders coming through. And within 30 days, you can clean all that up. And the key there is volume. The more you might even drop your price to sell it faster so you can quickly get it back up where it needs to be. Vanessa says, Seth, I have 2 products delivered at the warehouse 3 weeks ago. Do you mean the Amazon Fulfillment Center, Vanessa? And still not showing available for sale. Is it this normal? They won't answer me. Thank you. Yes, it's very normal because Amazon is overwhelmed with all the customers buying. I've seen so many cases of this. If someone gave me a dime for every time, I'd have another $1 million. It's crazy. So I would just be patient. Keep checking back in. Do not give up. C says, is still FBA a good option to choose because they put all the responsibility of returning items on the seller? FBA is a great option. FBM puts the responsibility of returning the item on you. FBA allows you to put it on Amazon. Great question. Paul says, Amazon FBA charges around $5 to ship my product. That's because of the size and the weight. Does Eric get good shipping discounts to where I will get the same shipping for $5? Paul, it depends. I can't tell. It's impossible to know. Like, does he give good rates? He gives amazing rates. He's going to give you better rates if you have higher volume because that means less work for him or money for him or money for you. See what I mean? So it depends. He would have to look at the product itself. Great question. EP retracted his message. Well, it's okay, EP. Let me go back. Hold on, guys. I accidentally scrolled way down. Oh, my goodness. These questions don't stop. EJ, how far are we, man? EJ is in the house. Give me one sec, guys. Sorry, I'm scrolling back up. I'm really trying to answer all these questions, and you guys are asking so many questions. Okay, Johnny. That's kind of a cool name. Seth, if I send 200 and the product will sell in a month, next order, how much can I send? I don't know, but in my experience, there's no limit after that. Boxing MMA fan. I've designed packaging, which is similar to the supplier's original packaging. I've changed a few words. Can I send a revamped packaging to the supplier to use for the item, or would they moan? They probably don't care because, no offense, if it's in China, Chinese are more used to ripping off other products. In their system, it's more natural than it is in the U.S. It's more acceptable. Darrow says, I'm starting my first product from CN, from China. It's not trademarked yet. I spoke with Amazon customer support today, and they told me to piggyback from a seller that sells the same product, and he is private label. Is that legal? First of all, don't do it. That person who gave you that advice from Amazon should be fired right now. Like, is it Jamie Jamieson that says, you're fired? That's what they need to hear. That's insane, ridiculously dumb, horrible, stupid, disgusting, ridiculous, insane. I can't think of any other words without cussing advice. No, you don't want to do that, my friend. Darrow, you want to build your own product. It needs to be so unique. It's like nothing on the planet. It's better than all the rest. Make people want your listing. Don't hijack another private label. You're just going to get into a war and waste your time and money. Greatly appreciate you and your time expertise as always, by the way. EP is my pleasure, my friend. Madame Butterfly says stocks have arrived in Amazon's warehouse, but Amazon is still not showing it being received in over a week. Meanwhile, my ranking is tanking. What should I do? You should close your listing because that will stop your ranking from tanking. because then it would be sinking. Vincent says, should I get a P.O. box address before I open my seller account? Yes, you should. Great question. Steve is in the house. Steve Bailey. Dude, there is something about you that just fires my ass up to get moving and stop making excuses. Amen, brother. Let's go. You know why? You want to know why you feel that way? Because I've suffered. That's why. I've gone through hell, and that has done something good to me. I chose to become a student of that, and I hope and pray to God you all will do the same. Seth, do you work with people doing FBM and selling their own product? It depends. If you're interested in us building something for you, you need to go to justonedime.com/DFY. Stands for done for you. Vincent, did you say 30,000 up front? Yes, sir, I did. Randy Bo Bandy says, does A+ content replace the 2,000 word product description to a listing? This happened to me. If it does, do your keywords still rank? Yes, it does replace it. Yes, they still rank. Gotcha. Okay, I got what you're saying. Based on our testing, those in the description still rank, but we don't know that for sure. The last time I tested it, it seemed to, because we create the listing, we wouldn't fill out the A+ content, we just put in a little bit, and then we'd wait. And it was still ranking for those keywords. How long? I don't know. I wouldn't count on it, though. I would just make sure all the keywords you want to rank for are in the correct place regardless. See what I mean? All right. Next question. I opened my seller account this week. Will I be able to sell in Q4? So that depends on how fast you move. You're going to need to move really fast. Could you? Could we? Yeah, we can. Like, absolutely. Could you? Yeah, if you know how to hustle. Like, it depends. There's so many options there. If I were you, I would make sure you're selling a product that's differentiated, contact a supplier, and start having them build it right now. What is a good approach? Thank you, BJ. Got it. What is a good approach to introduce the holiday packaging for the same product? I'm selling a bundle, and I want to offer a holiday packaging for Q4, same product, different package. Yeah, so EP, it's really hard to answer the question. I'd have to see the product. Okay, so if you want to introduce holiday packaging, I recommend you do packaging that is virtual. In other words, your main photo has a little ribbon or something that looks, look at it this way. They need to fall in love with the listing before they ever see the product. First, they fall in love with the listing. Then they buy the product and they fall in love with the product. Then they experience the aftermath of how you reach out to them, and that causes them to fall in love with the brand. So the love goes from the listing to the product to the brand. Hi, I have a home address in my S Corp and with my Amazon account. How do I go about changing to other UPS or VA address? All you need to do is go to UPS and get an address and say, that's my address to Amazon. Amazon doesn't go and check your address, your S Corp or your LLC or your C Corp or your B Corp or your all that. They don't go online to the Secretary of State and say, is this the right address? They don't. They act like they do. They don't. Just go change it and say, this is my new address. No one cares. Hope that's helpful. Tushar. Hello, Seth. I sent my first product in Amazon, a baby category, but Amazon doesn't allow me to sell the product. I can tell you why. And give me 30 days to liquidate the inventory. I can tell you why. Marok, if this is your first product and it's a baby category, you're not going to get approved. This is you started with the high risk product. You started with the product that people sue Amazon over. Amazon has no reason to trust you. They don't know you. Like, who's Marok? Do you know him? I don't know him. Do you know Marok? I don't know Marok. Do you? I don't know Marok. What do you mean you don't know? Well, he just started selling baby products. See what I mean? You can't do that. You got to start with the generic, non-dangerous product, like, something in the kitchen, like a wooden spoon, Chances of you getting sued over a wooden spoon are pretty low, okay? That's why. Now, here's my question. Are you going to give up? I bet you're frustrated as heck right now. Are you going to give up? You can let this knock you down? You can say, stay down. Or you say, I got nicked down. That means I'm getting up again. What is up, Miss Mattia? Do I get the manufacturer to send me a sample of their existing product, or do I get them to make it to my specs? The first sample should just be of their existing product because you're testing their workmanship. Once you know exactly what you want to build, then you send that. It might even include your 3D file because you got it, you got the whole thing designed through 3D design, and then they send you that before they go into production. Thank you so much for Koi. Good to see you. What's up, Friendshipina? Do you recommend Jungle Scout or Helium for a new Amazon seller? I recommend Helium, but I like Amazal better. But no one seems to like Amazal very much because it's not very user-friendly. It's okay. I won't take it personally. I'm new to Amazon. I just had a pro account, but I'm not able to add product. It said I need a brand name. Aha! You know what, Norden? I was waiting for someone to ask this question. You want to know why? Because no one's talking about it, and yet it's an issue. You guys ready for this? Here we go. If you're a new Amazon seller and you open a new listing and you try to put something in the brand name, Amazon's going to say, I don't recognize this. And they're going to give you some error code like 5063 or something. You know what I'm talking about, Norden? You know what you do? You go and you contact your support and you select the option that says having trouble creating a new listing, and you tell them what the issue is. That opens a case. They will send you an email back and say, hey, I understand the problem. Send me proof it's your brand. And all you need to do is get your logo on a sticker, put it on the product, make sure it looks decent, send the picture in, you'll get approved. Might take a couple weeks. They're doing this to protect us from what I said earlier was the biggest complaint, and that is hijackers. EJ, I don't know if I should have made the promise to answer all these questions because they're growing faster than I'm answering them. All right, short answers from now on, you guys. You don't talk fast. I'm going to talk fast now. Can I give a recording of this? Yes, George. It'll be right here on this channel. Always inspiring. Thank you, Creative Life. Anthony says, I honestly believe Chinese sellers left bad reviews on my listing. Very possible. Who leaves a 2-star review with no comments? Very possible. How would you boost your rating? How to get good reviews fast? What I would do is, and you may or may not have done this already, but include a gift with your product that is not talked about on the listing. And then in your follow-up sequences, when you message them, have it include, hey, did you get the gift? That will get you a ton of reviews. My first product, says Kylie Ball, has now gone to approval. But when I apply, Amazon has said they are not taking applications right now. So when you say your first product has gone to approval, I'm guessing if this is a high-risk product. Guys, you don't want to start with a high-risk product. You might have to go completely to a different product that's innocuous and then go for this one. Do I have to wait for the 200 units to sell out, or if I can sell 150? In my experience, they just need to start selling fast. Then you can send in the next batch EP. If you're getting 5665 error, use GS1. No, it's nothing to do with GS1 codes. If you're still having problems, use your name as the manufacturer, NA. Do not use NA for the brand name. Don't do that. Moise, I love you, but you're wrong. Let me explain why. If you put in NA for brand name, they will accept it. But guess what happens? When you're ready to build a brand and you want to get brand registered and you go back and you try to change it, you can't change it, which means all your ranking, all the money you spent on PPC, all the work you did to get that listing selling is kaput. You have to open up a whole new listing. Do not use the NA option. Don't do it. And the 5665 error is not about GS1 code. They will check your code, use a GS1 code, yes, but the issue is you can't put in a brand name at all unless you can prove it's your brand. Can I buy a competitor product for research, then return? You bastard. No joking. Yeah, you can do that. I'm sure your competitors will appreciate it. Mark said, you should buy their products. Let me put it that way to understand what they're doing. Absolutely. The return part, I leave that up to you. Mark says, to provide clarification, the restock inventory is the number of products that a seller is approved to sell, and my restock inventory is at 0. What's your question, my friend? Oh, this is the question you asked earlier. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about trying to set it in from your supplier. You need to contact Amazon. Was there a hit on your account? Did someone claim an inauthentic product? Like, what happened? There's got to be a reason for that. His speaking speed is the best way to study English. Nice. Does each box shipped to Amazon contain a different tracking ID? Yes, absolutely 100% it does. My issue is slightly complex. Anyway, can we have a private chat? Mark, I don't do private coaching unless I charge for it and it's $1,000 an hour. I don't do that in addition to this. But if you send me an email, I'll try to help you over email. Seth@justwhatdime.com. All right, guys, give me 1 second. The people over there are sending me another message, and I think they're telling me to stop. Wrap it up. Okay, you're right. I got to wrap it up. Guys, I really try to answer all your questions, but I have to go. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you have an awesome day. Keep hustling, and I will see you next time. And for those of you who said, Seth, we want you to build an Amazon business for you, let me be super clear. You need capital, okay? You need capital. If you have capital and you have long-term thinking, we can do this, but you have to apply and to get approved. About 90% of applicants, we don't accept. And I'm not saying that to sound special, but we only work with people who have long-term thinking businessmen and businesswomen. Go to justwhatdime.com/DFY, and you guys have an awesome day.